world. Tune in to broaden your understanding of the past and be the first to learn how today's innovations will transform our tomorrow. From the latest breakthrough in green technology to the discovery of humanity's oldest tools, you'll find it all on the Academic Minute.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30.
Hi, I'm Brett Barry, the host of Soundbeat. Every episode features a recording from Belfer Audio Archive, one of the largest sound archives in the country. We add in a related storyline, whether it be about the performers, the songs, or something else entirely. From vaudeville to vinyl, you'll hear it all on Soundbeat. Soundbeat is produced at the Belfer Audio Archive, Syracuse University Libraries.
Tune in for Philosophy Talk, the program that questions everything
except your intelligence.
Coming up, foreign aid or injury?
Developed nations have an obligation to lead the fight against global poverty.
Maybe so, but the only people actually assisted by foreign aid are corrupt dictators and their cronies.
But why does foreign aid have to be channeled through government? Can't we be smarter and more targeted?
Foreign aid or injury? Next time on Philosophy Talk.
Listen to Philosophy Talk every Tuesday at noon on KSJE 90.9 FM, Farmington. This program is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, who's expanding its services to offer low-cost blood screenings all year round, now offering walk-in convenience to get the blood tests you want when you want them. MyLabs, patient-ordered testing, is available in Farmington at the hospital's laboratory and the Outpatient Diagnostic Center on 30th Street. Also in Aztec at San Juan Health Partners Family Medicine at 120 Llanos Street. With nearly 20 tests available, there's an option for everyone. MyLabs, patient-ordered testing, a wellness service of San Juan Regional Medical Center. Eleven minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Monday morning, the 17th day of December. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin, and thanks for listening to KSJE 90.9 FM and 90.9 HD, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners from San Juan College. Good morning also to our viewers who are watching live today on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome aboard, everybody. Coming up in just a moment, my guest from the city of Aztec. We're talking to Aztec Mayor Victor Snover. He is in the studio with us. Also, Community Development Director Stephen Saavadra is here. So stay tuned for that conversation in just a moment, everybody, here on KSJE. Later on this hour, we will talk technology at 8:55 with my guest Lewis Campbell from Synergy Computer Systems here in Farmington. And then at 9 a.m., it is Roving with the Arts with Mick Hess. Mick is here with some more arts news for us. Lots of events going on throughout the region. Also some more great holiday music coming up this morning at 9 on KSJE. A reminder, of course, tonight's final watch party for Farmington Chevelle Shepherd happening at Scorpion Arena at Farmington High School. We want to remind you about that. The doors open at 6. The show will start at 7. Of course, Chevelle in the final 4 of the NBC program The Voice, and that is happening tonight. The show starts at 7. You'll be watching it on the big screen there at Scorpion Arena, and we encourage you to support Farmington's Chevelle Shepherd. One last note, you can always connect with KSJE in numerous ways on social media, on our Facebook page, 2 Twitter feeds. You could follow, of course, for breaking news events at KSJE_news or at KSJE. Also, check out our brand new channel on YouTube with lots of our visual radio programs, and we have a page on Instagram, so connect with us there as well. And for programming, you can always check out our website at ksje.com to see what's on the air at any time. And that's also where you'll find our regional events calendar. And there's a few events we want to pass along as we're scrolling through for our viewers who are watching us this morning to take a look. Some of the things that you might want to take advantage of. The Mermaid happening on January 11th here at San Juan College. Some Astro Friday presentations in January coming up here at San Juan College Henderson Fine Arts Center. Ricky Nelson Remembered, that great performance on January 26th. A little bit more recent events happening. Chaco Canyon Christmas Bird Count on December the 17th. There's the Voice Watch Party for tonight, of course. There's a performance at Fort Lewis College you can check out, and numerous winter solstice events happening on the Friday this week, December 21st. So check them all out on our regional events calendar at ksje.com. Now let me welcome my guests who are here with me this morning from the city of Aztec. We've been wanting to have him on for a long time, since he was elected mayor in March, for heaven's sakes. Victor Snover is here. Mr. Mayor, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You bet. It's great to have you here. Thanks for coming in. Also, you brought with you your community development director, Stephen Saavadra. Good morning. Welcome to you.
Good morning, and again, thank you for having me as well.
You bet. It's great to see both of you here this morning. And Mr. Mayor, let me talk with you a little bit to start with about your election in March, and tell me a little bit about how it's been the last, how many months here? 9 months or so?
Almost to the day.
Right.
It's been close to 9 months, and it's been a learning experience for sure. You know, sometimes the learning curve seems a little steeper than other times, but I can honestly say that I feel like, at least since summertime, maybe, I guess, I feel like we're starting to kind of gel as a commission. We're learning, how to work with one another. I'm understanding, some of the basics about running meetings, things like that seem kind of easy from an outsider's point of view when you're sitting out in the crowd watching the city commission meetings. But then when you're sitting up there, obviously it's a little different ball game. But I'm starting to, my comfort level has increased, getting to know a lot of the city staff, kind of learning how to work with folks like Steven sitting next to me, of course, and our new city manager. It takes a little bit of time, but I do feel like we're kind of hitting our stride, so to speak, just in the last several months.
Sure. Well, and sometimes with a new mayor and a new city manager, those are some pretty important jobs in a city, so
Right.
that means a lot of change sometimes for
Right.
residents.
And we did come from a phase or period of time where, with Mayor Burbridge, she had been the mayor for 10 years. She's kind of an Aztec institution. We had Josh Ray as our city manager, I think, for 5 or 6 years.
Right.
So, yeah, to have kind of a wholesale change of sorts, there's always going to be growing pains and personality differences, and getting to know how to work with one another. And like I said, I feel like we're kind of there, over the last few months. So.
Sure. And you brought with you too, or the election brought with you, some new members of the city commission as well.
Right. There was one that actually ran for re-election and was defeated by Mark Lewis. But yeah, myself, Mayor Pro Tem Rosalind Fry, and Commissioner Mark Lewis as well. So 3 brand new commissioners, so there's bound to be some differences and some growing pains, and kind of figuring out how to do things and
Sure.
how to move forward.
Right. And the economy certainly doesn't help when you're facing some of these things that all municipalities in New Mexico seem to be facing, especially here in the west corner, with revenues and
Right.
and changing economics and things like that I'm sure you're learning day by day.
I am definitely learning, and I appreciate the patience that everybody's had with us. I appreciate the fact that we've got an amazing staff. From Mr. Saavadra sitting next to me, Steve Mueller, our new city manager, has been doing a fantastic job, and our budget director, finance director, Kathy Lamb, and I know I'm going to miss people, but the entire city staff, all of our department heads, are some of the hardest working, most dedicated people I've ever met in my entire life. And to be part of the team with them, and to know that they're working hard and they're doing their best to maximize our revenue streams and to streamline government and to streamline our operations, I know we're in really good hands. So what learning curve I am still kind of behind, those folks are more than picking up the slack and taking care of us. So we're very fortunate in Aztec.
Very good. Let me turn to Stephen Saavadra for a moment and talk a little bit about the Community Development Department and some of the things that you're working on. And we talked earlier this morning a little bit about revenue and budgets and things like that. And community development deals with a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, some zoning issues and business development and things like that. Is that where we are?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Scott. We deal with planning and zoning. We deal with new businesses, trying to recruit businesses coming into Aztec, and also retaining existing businesses. So a lot of the projects that we're working on, everything from the arterial, the North Main development project, and downtown. And those are, I think, crucial because when we hear about the arterial, which has been this project that people will talk about, well, I've heard about it for the last 10, 12 years, and when is it going to actually happen? But we also hear some fears and real concerns. When you do put in this right away, what's going to happen to Aztec then? And that's why I think some of these projects like downtown, redeveloping it, are so crucial, North Main. So you want to give individuals a place to go, but also that sense of community that comes with it. And so that's what community development is focused on, at least at this moment.
Right. Of course, all those things take money, and so a lot of times you're dependent on money to complete a lot of these things. And I think that's part of it with the arterial and the North Main project that you mentioned, but I want to talk about both of them here. The arterial, we were talking before we came on the air this morning that you think that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, which would be maybe 2020.
Yes, we're very optimistic by 2020. Hopefully, construction will be completed or near completion, and you'll see that first car driving across the arterial.
Is that going to be the mayor?
I don't know.
In a convertible or something,
so, yeah.
right? With streamers or something, right? Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long time coming. As you mentioned, it's been in the works for a number of years. And the idea, once again, is to kind of get some of that heavy truck traffic off of Main Avenue and away from those historic buildings and to help make Main a little bit more pedestrian friendly.
Correct. We always hear the sentiment, and you can just go out there right now. When you're downtown, 12 o'clock, you're walking or you want to get something to eat, and you hear the large trucks rumbling down Main Avenue. And so we want to shift those trucks to a different location so you could enjoy downtown a little bit more, have that lunch or that dinner without the large noise or that plume of diesel. So that's really what the focus is.
Right. And you mentioned North Main as well, which is another project I think some folks are familiar with that is a kind of a carryover from the prior administration, and that work is continuing as well. This is an idea to develop the North Main Avenue.
Correct. And you got to kind of step back, and if you were to zoom out a little bit, all these projects are connected. So you have the Aztec ruins. You have a pedestrian bridges that crosses the Animas River, which would connect to the North Main Development Project. And what that is a retail development project that also consists of pedestrian-friendly, just environmentally friendly businesses. And so that connects to our downtown, and then the arterial, which would take those large truck traffic outside of that. So they're all connected, but you had mentioned earlier about money and constraints, and unfortunately that's what we had to deal with. Hopefully, though, we can turn a corner, and when there's the talk and the fear about, well, trucks are just going to bypass Aztec altogether, we're already seeing some positive trends downtown. We just adopted our MRA, that's a Metropolitan Redevelopment Plan, in June of 2018. We have one building that was on that plan, that is the old Ramsey Realty building that has been remodeled and continues to be remodeled, so that's a great addition for downtown. In addition to that, you have that old Mustang gas station, and there's going to be a new business that's going to come in there as of this, 2019, early 2019. So you're developing downtown, so you're giving individuals a place to go, and so hopefully that will continue throughout the coming years.
Sure. And it's a kind of a balancing act, is it not, with the city government and community development department about what businesses maybe to try and attract to a downtown, you don't own those businesses. The city doesn't put those businesses in. I know if that were the case, you would have had a Taco Bell 10 years ago, because that's what I hear every time I go to Aztec is people want fast food or Taco Bell. But it's hard, right, to try to balance that of what the residents want and what the city can do to maybe entice these companies to come and set up a business to make the conditions right for them?
Absolutely. And that is really the trick. We have zoning that regulates some businesses which can come in and those that cannot. But like you said, Taco Bell, I'm pretty sure the old city manager would come back to Aztec just for that one business. But unfortunately, that's the reality. Businesses are there to make a profit, and if they realize that this is a great fit for them, then they'll set up shop.
But you can't pick up the phone in your office and call Taco Bell and say, hey, locate to Aztec.
We have.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
They'll tell us, other things. But we definitely do. We try. There's different things and different incentives that city governments, not just Aztec, other governments will try to entice businesses to locate. And then we also got to make sure that we're retaining the existing business, and that's very crucial, especially for Aztec. we have some that we would hate to lose, and we're just continuing that trend right now as to making sure that whatever businesses we have stay open.
Very good. Mayor Snover, let me ask you a little bit about community development and attracting these new businesses to town, also retaining the ones that are already there. That's really important for any size city.
Yeah, and it's, we're not unique in New Mexico, small city, small town New Mexico. We're fighting against, we're competing, we're trying to put our best face on to attract, unique and exciting businesses to Aztec. I don't envy Mr. Saavadra at all, because it's hard, when you have slowly declining population, you have truck traffic. So I do feel like we're heading in the right direction. We are trying to remedy, obviously, we just talked about the arterial bypass.
Right.
That has taken years and years, but we feel like we've got the right-of-ways fixed. We've met recently with our state delegation to kind of reassure us that our funding should be reappropriated in this upcoming session, and we've gotten positive feedback from them that should take place.
That answers the money part of that equation, right?
Right. And I think as we do that and we look to, kind of brighten up our downtown area with the MRA designation to, in a sense, extend out our main avenue onto the other side of 516, where 516 and 550 intersect, coming right into downtown, and to take advantage of that incredible asset that we have just across the river with Aztec Ruins. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a national park or national monument literally right in our backyard. And with the improvements that have come through that over the last 8 to 10 years or so, it's much more attractive than it has been in the past. The pedestrian bridge that Stephen mentioned will literally dump people out right into that North Main area, and it just kind of pulls them into the rest of downtown, which hopefully over the next months and years will become a place to visit and to a destination instead of a place to stop and get ice and gas.
Right.
So,
and we hear that a lot about communities, especially even City of Farmington. We're talking about diversifying the economy, right, and really building on your strengths as a community. And it seems like that's what Aztec has been doing for a number of years with the historic downtown and the proximity to Aztec ruins. And I think the pedestrian bridge was a brilliant idea, which is already in place, and just adding those last few connections of North Main to kind of bring that into the downtown area.
Yeah, and I feel like Mayor Duckett and the city of Farmington, along with the other smaller, close by smaller cities and
Sure.
towns that make up the Four Corners area. I like the fact that there's a concerted effort to attract outdoor retail type of business to expand and to use, like you said, the assets that we have. We have natural assets right out our back door. There's mountain biking for miles and miles and miles. There's high desert camping. You can run, hike, maybe start figuring out a way, which I know a group from San Juan Citizens Alliance, some folks up there have kind of contacted us to look at piecing together an opportunity to float down the river from the border through into Farmington. So we have these assets, and it does take time. Government moves slowly, and there's a good reason for that, so we can take our time and we can be deliberate about the opportunities that we're trying to take advantage of and the development we're trying to attract to the area, so it's sustainable and it's something that can help diversify our economy and keep us on the map and raise our profile in the years to come.
Right. But again, it's not your job necessarily, the City of Aztec's job, to start a rafting business on the river. It's maybe your job to make the conditions so that could happen.
Yeah, give them a place that they can, that people want to stop. I've rafted on the East Coast before. I've rafted here, and those types of businesses spring up when you have other kind of complementary businesses. You have places for people to go shop and get some outdoor gear. Go to a place like Jack's Plastic Welding and pick up some gear for their float trip. Get some pizza or grab a drink, at 550 Brewery and Pizza Parlor, those sorts of things. Go down to Aztec Restaurant. I'm trying to plug all.
You are doing a good job.
Stopping in at Safeway. I mean, there's so many pieces that are already there, and I think it's important and to have the common goal that we are developing in Aztec and with the other Four Corners area cities and towns to really start to develop that opportunity to be the Moab, or the Moab of New Mexico, so to speak, and to bring other folks into the region that can explore all those things.
Sure. Kind of like that saying, a rising tide raises all boats.
Raises
so
all boats,
if
that's
Aztec
right.
does well, maybe Bloomfield does well, and Farmington and Kirtland and all of them.
And I feel like we kind of get it, working with the other municipalities and cities. It's not, we're competitive, of course, because we have to look out for the citizens of our town and our cities. But we also recognize that if one of us does well, we're 15 minutes from Farmington. If they do well, we're going to do well, and vice versa. If there's a reason for people to stop in Aztec and hang out for a while, they're going to kind of slow themselves down and say, what else can we do around here? And then they drive into Farmington, and the larger stores and shopping opportunities, maybe they can take advantage of some things and use more of our independent mom and pop sort of shops and stores to come and buy souvenirs or buy unique art, or go to the national park.
Exactly.
So.
Very true. My guest this morning from the city of Aztec, everyone. We are being joined by Mayor Victor Snover, who is here with us this morning, also Stephen Saavadra, Community Development Director for the city of Aztec. Gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, more with my guests in just a moment here on KSJE. The time right now is 8:30.